Let me tell you something right now, you don't want to be me. You don't want to walk in my shoes, live my life, or have my problems. But you do want something. You want to become the best version of you. So let's dive in and uncover the keys to that transformation. Let me share a truth that often gets buried beneath the highlight reels of social media and the polished success stories you see on TV. Every single person you admire, envy, or look up to is fighting a battle you can't see. It's easy to look at someone's life and think, wow, they have it all figured out. Maybe they have the big house, the fancy car, the perfect family photos, or the career you dream of. But let me tell you, some appearances are deceiving. Beneath every polished exterior is a story of struggle, sacrifice, and perseverance. I'm no different. People see the stage, the energy, the big events, but they don't see the behind-the-scenes struggles, the sleepless nights, or the moments when I've questioned everything. Success doesn't mean you stop facing challenges. It just means the challenges evolve. You might think you want my life, but trust me, you don't. You don't want the weight of my responsibilities, the tough decisions I've had to make, or the times I felt like I was on the edge of breaking. And I wouldn't want yours either, because I can't know the depths of your battles. But here's the thing, our struggles shape us in ways success never can. The problem is that we're wired to compare ourselves to others. We compare their best moments to our worst, their victories to our struggles. You might see someone thriving in their career and think, why can't that be me? But you don't know the sacrifices they've made to get there. Maybe they've missed countless family dinners, faced relentless criticism, or endured years of rejection before their breakthrough. The truth is, their path is theirs, just as your path is yours. And those struggles you're dealing with right now, they're not a sign you're failing. They're proof you're in the process of growing. Struggles don't just happen to us, they happen for us. They force us to dig deeper, to discover strengths we didn't know we had. Think back to a tough time in your life. Maybe you lost a job, faced a health crisis, or endured heartbreak. In the moment, it felt unbearable, right? But somehow you made it through. You learned. You grew. That's what challenges do. They refine us. They make us more resilient, more empathetic, and more resourceful. And let's not forget that the people we admire most are often those who face the greatest struggles. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty and faced unimaginable hardships growing up. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison before becoming a symbol of freedom and reconciliation. These weren't people who avoided struggle, they were people who used it to transform themselves and the world around them. The key is to stop resisting the battles and start embracing them. I know that sounds crazy. Who wants to embrace pain, uncertainty, or failure? But when you shift your mindset and see challenges as opportunities, everything changes. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me, ask, what is this teaching me? Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, see them as stepping stones. And here's another truth, you don't have to face these battles alone. Too often, we carry our burdens in silence because we're afraid of being judged or appearing weak. But vulnerability isn't weakness, it's courage. When you share your struggles with the right people, you open the door to support, connection, and even solutions you hadn't considered. Remember, no one achieves greatness alone. So the next time you find yourself envying someone else's life, stop. Take a moment to remind yourself that they too have faced battles you'll never know about. Their success doesn't diminish your worth. And your struggles don't define your future, they're shaping it. You don't want to be me or anyone else. What you truly want is to become the strongest, most authentic version of you. That journey begins when you stop wishing for someone else's life and start embracing your own battles and all. Let me hit you with a truth that can change your life. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's a silent killer of dreams, happiness, and self-worth. Yet we do it every single day, often without even realizing it. You scroll through social media, see someone else's perfectly curated vacation, their shiny new car, their promotion, or their happy family photo, and you think, why can't that be me? That one thought, that one moment of comparison steals a piece of your joy, your confidence, and your focus. Here's the problem when you compare. You're not playing a fair game. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes footage to someone else's highlight reel. You're taking your struggles, your flaws, and your insecurities and putting them up against the version of someone else that they've chosen to share. It's not real. It's not the whole story. And even if it were, it wouldn't matter because their journey isn't yours. You see, comparison does something dangerous. It shifts your focus outward instead of inward. Instead of asking yourself, how can I grow? What can I achieve? You start obsessing over what someone else has or does. You start measuring your worth based on someone else's accomplishments, which is a losing game because there will always be someone further along than you in some area of life. Always. Always. Even the people you envy have their own role models, their own comparisons that make them feel like they're not enough. It's a vicious cycle. But here's what you have to understand. You're not in competition with anyone else. The only person you're competing with is the person you were yesterday. The goal isn't to be better than someone else, it's to be better than you were. Progress, not perfection, is the measure of success. Every small step forward is a victory, but you miss those victories when you're too busy looking at someone else's scoreboard. Think about this. What would your life look like if you focused all that energy you waste on comparison into self-improvement? What if, instead of envying someone else's success, you studied it? What if you used it as inspiration, as proof that what you want is possible, instead of as a reason to feel inadequate? Because the truth is, when you see someone thriving, it doesn't mean there's less for you. Life isn't a zero-sum game. There's room for everyone to win, including you. Let's also talk about gratitude, because it's the antidote to comparison. When you're focused on what you lack, you lose sight of what you have. And I promise you, there's someone out there who would trade places with you in a heartbeat. Your life, your opportunities, your talents, they're valuable, but you won't see that if you're always looking at what someone else has. Gratitude shifts your focus back to abundance. It reminds you that you're already enough and that you have everything you need to take the next step forward. And don't forget, success looks different for everyone. For one person, it might be a high-paying job. For another, it might be staying home with their kids. For one, it's climbing mountains. For another, it's writing poetry. What matters is that you define success on your own terms, not based on someone else's idea of it. When you're clear about what you truly want, you stop chasing someone else's dream and start building your own. So the next time you catch yourself comparing, pause, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that someone else's success doesn't take away from yours. Refocus on your own journey. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. And remember, joy isn't found in having what someone else has. It's found in appreciating what you have and becoming the person you're meant to be. Comparison steals joy, but self-acceptance, gratitude, and growth restore it. You have everything you need to create a life you love. So stop looking over the fence at someone else's garden and start tending to your own. That's where joy lives. Let me tell you a secret. Your greatest power isn't in trying to be someone else. It's in being fully, unapologetically you. Authenticity is one of the most liberating and powerful forces in the world, yet so many of us spend our lives hiding who we are. We wear masks, we conform, we play roles that we think will make us acceptable to others, but deep down we know that's not who we truly are. And the price we pay for living out of alignment with our authentic selves is immense. It costs us joy, connection, and the fulfillment we're all searching for. Think about it. How often do you hold back from saying what you really think because you're afraid of judgment? How often do you silence your ideas because you don't think they're good enough? How many times have you scrolled through social media, seen what everyone else is doing, and felt like you needed to change to fit in? These moments may seem small, but they add up. Over time, they chip away at your confidence and rob you of your uniqueness. But here's the truth. The world doesn't need a second version of someone else. It needs you in all your imperfect, messy, beautiful glory. Your quirks, your passions, your experiences, even your struggles are what make you unique. They're your superpowers. When you embrace who you are, instead of hiding it, you give others permission to do the same. Authenticity is contagious, and it creates a ripple effect that can transform not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Now, authenticity doesn't mean you'll always be understood, liked, or celebrated. In fact, there will be times when being true to yourself feels like the harder path. Not everyone will get you, and that's okay. Authenticity isn't about pleasing everyone. It's about living in alignment with your values, your truth, and your purpose. When you do that, you attract the right people, the ones who see you, accept you, and celebrate you for who you really are. And those are the relationships that truly matter. Living authentically also means letting go of the fear of imperfection. We live in a world that constantly tells us we need to be more successful, more attractive, more productive. But authenticity isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about owning your story. The good and the bad is showing up fully. When you do, you create a space for real connection because people are drawn to vulnerability and honesty, not perfection. One of the biggest misconceptions about authenticity is that it's static, like you find your true self once and you're done. But authenticity is a journey. It's about peeling back the layers of conditioning, expectations, and fear to discover who you are at your core, and then having the courage to live that truth, even as it evolves. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago, and you won't be the same person 5 years ago, and you won't be the same person 5 years from now. Authenticity is about embracing that growth and staying true to yourself in every phase of your life. So how do you step into your authenticity? Start small. Begin by noticing when you're holding back or putting on a mask. Ask yourself why. Is it fear of judgment? Fear of failure? Once you identify the source, challenge it. Remind yourself that your worth isn't determined by someone else's opinion or by fitting into a mold. Your worth comes from within. And don't be afraid to take risks. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Share your ideas, even if they're not fully formed. Follow your passions, even if they don't make sense to anyone else. Every time you choose authenticity, you strengthen your connection to yourself and to the life you're meant to live. The power of authenticity lies in its ability to free you. When you stop trying to be who you think the world wants you to be, you discover the incredible person you already are. And when you live from that place of truth, you unlock a kind of confidence, joy, and fulfillment that no amount of external success can bring. Be real, be vulnerable, be you. The world is waiting for the unique magic only you can offer. When we think about success, most of us picture external achievements, a high-paying job, a beautiful house, a luxurious car, or a life that looks perfect on social media. And while those things might be the results of success, they're not the cause. True success doesn't start with what you have or achieve on the outside. It starts from the inside out. It's an inside job built on your mindset, your emotions, and your habits. The external rewards are just a reflection of the internal foundation you create. Here's the problem: too many people chase external markers of success without doing the inner work first. They think if I just get that promotion, I'll finally feel confident, or when I make more money, then I'll be happy. But it doesn't work that way. You can achieve those things and still feel empty if you haven't cultivated the internal strength, clarity, and fulfillment that true success requires. The truth is, no amount of money, status, or recognition can fill a void inside you. That's why you see people who seem to have it all but are still miserable. They chase success outside themselves and ignore the most important part, their inner world. Real success begins with your mindset. What you believe about yourself, and the world shakes everything you do. If you believe you're capable, deserving, and resilient, you'll approach challenges with courage and creativity. But if you believe you're not good enough or that life is stacked against you, those beliefs will hold you back no matter how much talent or opportunity you have. Your mindset is like the soil in which your success grows. If it's full of weeds, negative thoughts, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs, it's going to be tough for anything to thrive. But mindset alone isn't enough. Success also comes from emotional mastery. Life will throw curveballs at you: failures, rejections, setbacks. You can't control everything that happens, but you can control how you respond. Emotional mastery doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pretending everything's fine when it's not. It means developing the tools to process your emotions in a healthy way so they don't derail you. It's about staying focused and grounded, even when things don't go as planned. Let's not forget about habits either. Your daily actions shape your future more than any single event. You don't wake up one day and suddenly arrive at success. It's built through consistent, intentional effort over time. And those habits aren't just about what you do, they're also about what you don't do. Are you feeding your mind with positive, uplifting content? Or are you drowning in negativity? Are you taking care of your body? Or are you burning out because you think rest is a weakness? Success is about aligning your actions with your values and your goals every single day. Now, here's the most important part: success from the inside out means defining success on your own terms. Too often, we let society, family, or peers dictate what success should look like. But their definition might not be right for you. Maybe success for you isn't about climbing the corporate ladder. It's about having time to travel, pursue your passions, or be present with your family. When you chase someone else's version of success, you'll always feel like something's missing. But when you align your life with what truly matters to you, that's when you feel fulfilled. So how do you start building success from the inside out? First, take a hard look at your beliefs. What's one limiting belief that's holding you back? Replace it with an empowering one. Next, focus on emotional resilience. Practice gratitude is one of the fastest ways to shift your emotional state. And finally, audit your habits. What's one small action you can take today that aligns with the life you want to create? Success isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's not about reaching some final goal where everything magically falls into place. It's about becoming the person who can create and sustain a life you love. When you focus on growing from the inside out, on strengthening your mindset, mastering your emotions, and aligning your habits, you'll find that the external rewards take care of themselves. And more importantly, you'll experience the kind of deep fulfillment that no paycheck or trophy can ever give you. Remember, the greatest gift you can give yourself is the power to create success from within. That's where confidence lives. That's where happiness thrives. And that's where your best self is waiting to emerge. So stop chasing success outside yourself and start building it where it truly matters on the inside. One of the most powerful truths I can share with you today is this: growth is a process. And that process isn't always easy. In fact, it can be downright uncomfortable, messy, and even painful. But here's the catch: embracing the process is the key to unlocking your potential and achieving lasting success. The truth is, many people want the rewards of success, but aren't willing to go through the journey to get there. They want the result without the struggle. But the magic doesn't happen in the destination, it happens in the journey. I know we live in a world that loves instant gratification. We're used to fast food, instant messaging, and one-click solutions. So it's easy to think that success should be the same, quick and easy, but it doesn't work that way. Whether you're building a business, improving your health, or working toward personal growth, the process takes time, and the time is necessary. It's in those hours, days, and months of showing up, working hard, and pushing through discomfort that you develop the habits, the mindset, and the resilience needed to succeed. The process isn't always glamorous, it's not always exciting, and it can be downright frustrating. You'll face setbacks, failures, and moments when you wonder if it's all worth it. But here's the truth: the setbacks are part of the success. Every failure, every mistake, every obstacle is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to improve. If you want to succeed, you can't skip the hard parts, you need them. Those challenges will teach you lessons that no victory could ever provide. They shape you, refine you, and prepare you for the success that's coming. You see, the process isn't about instant results, it's about building something that lasts. And to build something that lasts, you need to lay a strong foundation. That foundation is built by showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when it seems like you're not making progress. Sometimes the work feels invisible, but trust me, it's not. Every time you show up, you're moving closer to your goal, even if you don't see it immediately. Progress is often slow and incremental, but it adds up. The key is to stay in the game long enough for those small steps to lead to big results. What makes this even harder is that we often measure our progress by external markers: how much money we've made, how many followers we have, how far along we are in our goals. But success isn't always measurable in immediate terms. You might not see the fruits of your labor right away, and that's okay. Just because you don't see results in the moment doesn't mean your work isn't having an impact. Trust the process and believe that every effort you put in is building towards something greater. Another part of embracing the process is accepting that the road to success is not linear. It's full of twists, turns, detours, and roadblocks. There will be times when you feel like you're moving forward only to hit a wall. There will be moments when you feel like you're stuck, like you're not making any progress at all. But that's part of the process. It's in those moments that you build resilience. It's in those moments that you learn to adapt, to be resourceful, and to keep going even when it feels like you're not moving. Here's something else to remember: you don't need to have everything figured out. The process is often about taking one step at a time. You don't need to see the entire path ahead of you. All you need to do is take the next step, and then the next. Eventually, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. And that realization will give you the strength and confidence to keep going. So how do you embrace the process? First, accept that it won't always be easy. There will be hard days, but those days are part of the growth. Second, focus on the present moment. Don't worry too much about the end goal. Just focus on what you can do today to move forward. Small, consistent actions over time lead to big changes. Third, be patient with yourself. The road to success is a marathon, not a sprint. Allow yourself to make mistakes, to take detours, and to learn along the way. Lastly, trust that the process is working. Even if you can't see it right now, every step you take is building the foundation for your future success. When you embrace the process, when you stop focusing solely on the destination and start loving the journey, you unlock the power to achieve your goals in ways you never imagined possible. The process is your greatest teacher. And when you learn to love it, that's when everything changes. In a world that constantly celebrates external validation, it's easy to fall into the trap of living for applause. We measure success by likes, followers, accolades, and recognition. We seek approval from others, and when we get it, it feels good, sometimes even addictive. But here's the truth: living for applause is an empty pursuit. True fulfillment doesn't come from external recognition, it comes from making a lasting impact. Live for impact, not applause, and you'll find that the rewards are far deeper and more meaningful than anything external validation can offer. Living for impact means focusing on the difference you can make in the world rather than the applause you might receive for it. It means shifting your mindset from seeking approval to creating value, from looking for recognition to offering something that has the potential to improve someone else's life. When your focus is on impact, you're no longer dependent on the fleeting highs of praise. You find a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in knowing that your actions, no matter how small, are contributing to a greater good. When you live for impact, you're guided by something much stronger: your purpose. Purpose is something that's much bigger than any applause. It's about making a difference in the lives of others, about leaving a legacy that outlives you, and about creating value that transcends time. True impact doesn't need an audience. It's not about being recognized or getting praise. It's about knowing that your actions, your decisions, and your efforts are contributing to something greater than yourself. You might wonder, how do you measure impact? The answer is simple: you measure it by the lives you touch and the change you create. It might not always be immediate or obvious. Sometimes the impact you make won't show up in a big way until years down the road. But when you live for impact, you know that every small act of kindness, every thoughtful decision, and every time you show up with integrity counts, even when no one else is looking, even when you're not getting applause. This doesn't mean you should disregard recognition altogether. It's human to appreciate acknowledgement and to feel good when others notice your efforts. But the difference is in the motivation. When you live for impact, you're not seeking recognition as your end goal. You're seeking to make a difference. And if recognition comes along the way, it's simply a byproduct of the work you're doing. Another beautiful thing about living for impact is that it creates a ripple effect. When you lead with purpose and focus on creating value, you inspire others to do the same. Your actions encourage those around you to look beyond themselves and ask, how can I contribute? How can I make a difference? That's how change happens, not through a single person's applause, but through the collective impact of many people living with purpose and intention. Living for impact also means embracing the uncomfortable moments that come with it. When you step outside your comfort zone to create real change, you often face resistance, criticism, and failure. And when no one is watching, it's easy to wonder if it's worth it. But the truth is, the greatest impact often comes from the hardest work, the quietest moments, and the biggest challenges. When you're focused on your purpose and the difference you're making, you develop the resilience to keep moving forward, even when it feels like no one is applauding.